If I had to choose a last meal, this would be it. Birria tacos. Loaded with lots of gooey cheese and onions and cilantro. And a little bit of lime juice. So let me show you how I make them. I start with toasting some chiles and rehydrating them. I'm using a mix of guajillo, ancho, and New Mexico. For the liquid, I use a can of beef consommé and 1 can of water. Once they're rehydrated, I remove the stems and put them in a food processor and puree them. Then I run it through a fine mesh strainer to remove the skins, and then I'm left with a really nice, beautiful chili sauce. Set that aside and let's work on the beef. Here I have a 4-pound chuck roast that I'm going to lightly coat in olive oil and season with salt, pepper, and garlic, and then brown on all sides in my Instant Pot. I'm going to pause right here for a moment and let you know that this recipe does make a lot of broth, so you can cut this in half. We like a lot for dipping and also for soup like ramen. Add 3 cans of beef consommé and a can of Rotel, 2 chopped onions, and the chili sauce. Add 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 3 to 4 tablespoons of white vinegar, and a couple of teaspoons of cumin. Seal the Instant Pot and set it for high pressure for an hour and a half. When it's done, release the pressure and remove the meat and shred it. Taste the broth and make any adjustments to the seasoning that you like additional salt or some cumin, maybe some lime juice. I like to keep my broth separate from the grease, but you don't have to do this step. I find that the separated fat works better on the tortillas on the griddle, and it makes it easier to repurpose the broth for soup later. For my tacos, I saturate the tortilla in the separated fat, reheat a little bit of the beef with some of the broth. Then I load the meat into the tortilla with some cilantro, onions, jalapeno, and lime juice. For the cheese, I'm using queso de mano. It happens to be our favorite. You can use quesadilla melting cheese or whatever your favorite is. And there you have it, Queen G's take on Birria tacos. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for being so patient while I put this together. Next up is my Birria pull-apart bread. So be on the lookout for it.